Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon review for tonight's match reaction or match review of Newcastle United 2, Chelsea 0. That was the new intro. Really pleased with that. So thank you to Rich Wares for doing that. I will put his email address in the description because obviously wanted to give him a big shout out, and of course, if you need any graphic design and doing on a basis like that, then he is the way to go. So I will put his email address in the description after the show. So if you want to get in touch with him, if you need any work doing, he is the man to see. So thank you to Rich again. That is an incredible intro. We absolutely love it. It was fantastic. Billy, during the little bit of the show starting soon, I saw you laughing. I mean, what was the issue there, Billy?
We will fight them on the beaches. Never has fucking Winston Churchill fucking appeared. Fuck a lot of me.
Of course, it looks like you.
Same shape, but
it's a nice, it's a freshly shaved version of you. I was, well, blame Susan for that, but I thought it was brilliant. Julie said she missed it as she whizzed to the loo. Should we play it again?
If you insist.
Not the starting soon, Billy. Just the intro. If you've just joined us, this is our new intro. So there you go. Really cracking job Rich has done on that. Absolutely superb. Thank you so much for doing that. And thank you to Susan for doing the starting soon. The Toon review with Winston Churchill rising from the grave, it seems, if you're Billy. Now, as you can see, we are colour coordinated tonight, apart from Stato, who's decided to model one of the Toon review T-shirts. We've decided to model the Newcastle United away kit, of course, but it's just the way it goes. I mean,
that one.
Well, funny enough, none of us actually. It's not like we were backstage going, "Oh, what you wearing?" We never bloody do that.
Messaging each other. What we going for, lads?
That never happens. That never ever happens. So it was very strange because I came on, then Billy, and we were laughing, saying, "Oh, look at that!" And then Sam came on. And then we were all like, well, there's no way Alex is going to be
Well, apart from Billy was there first, but yeah.
Well, Billy wasn't there first. I was there first, but...
Were you?
Because I was here at very first, so I know...
When I got stats, I was in before me, yeah.
I was in 15 minutes before any of you guys.
Because I
had to put the intro in and stuff. So, yeah.
That's the first time for everything.
Indeed, Sam, I couldn't... I would argue if I had a point, but I don't. Normally, I just step in at the last minute. I want to say, I'm not going to sit here and deny that, but I am busy behind the scenes getting things ready. But, never mind. Anyway, thank you to everybody that's watched my earlier video today. It has gone bananas. Thank you so much. But a point had to be made because I really am sick to death of him and his little comrades down there trying to make us look like a real small club, calling Newcastle fans 50-year-old fat men in replica shirts, etc. I mean, the thing is, yeah, me and Billy will vouch for that. I mean, I'm not 50 yet, but just unbelievable. Billy, what were your thoughts on that? I take it you watched my video as well.
Yes, hence why I'm wearing this shirt tonight. I thought I'd tick a few boxes. 50 plus, yes. Fat, yes. Likes to wear my Newcastle attire, yes. It's because I have an affinity with the club that I've grown up to love. And I'm afraid people that live down south and sports clubs like Chelsea don't have that affinity. They just don't. It's just a case of winning things for them. Most glory hunters. And as Newcastle fans, we've suffered through thick and thin. And now we're winning cups and things like that. You know, the big six and the old big six, I should say, are getting jealous of it. I'm happy to wear this shirt. I'm proud to wear it. And it's because I love wearing it. I love this badge. I love everything it represents. I love this Newcastle on time. Despite not being born there, it's a fantastic place and everything about it.
Doesn't matter.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're a Newcastle fan. End of story. Nobody. But Sam, I mean, calling out Joe Linton at first is what he did. And you know, I don't see the problem with Joe Linton and his wife wearing replica shirts. He plays for Newcastle. He wanted to support the lads like the fans in the studio. But he's made derogatory comments before. Well, a lot of them have actually about us getting emotional when we won the cup and things like that. And, you know, I've offered Jennings to come on the channel. I've offered to meet him outside St. James's Park and say it to me face. But these are the types of things that he just wouldn't do because he sits in his posh little privileged studio talking absolute nonsense about Newcastle fans. And he doesn't have a clue the affinity that we have with this club and what it means to people around Newcastle in the city and in the world.
Well, I can't speak to the video because I haven't seen your earlier video today. I'll watch it after this show. But when it... Right, people in the chat, this is what I put up with. Like the noisy neighbour upstairs is what I deal with all of the time. Anyway, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, the goal, the nerve.
By the man with the pink vape.
Yeah.
It's red.
It's pink.
It's
that is
pink. Red. It's purple, if anything. Anyway, get on with it. Right. Come on.
Speak then. Right. So first thing, I haven't seen the video, so I can't speak to whatever comments that he's made. But you've mentioned that he's made reference to Joe Linton wearing a replica top. So one, unless you've got a serious bag of change with you and can afford the professional top, which is essentially just a more embossed badge with a gold leaf on it, then yeah, fair enough, get yourselves away. But all of the tops are replicas unless you buy the professional one. The Joe Linton one that he's wearing was actually a Mags Plus exclusive that came out this season. We printed Shearer on the back and Janot on the back. So that's where the shirt has come from. So it's not like a replica that he's just bought off bloody Timbu or something, whatever. When it comes to people slagging off this area, I've got to say, I just don't understand it, but I'm happy for them to keep and have their opinions, because if it stops them coming up here and spoiling it for those of us who are in this fantastic place, then go right ahead. Have all the assumptions that you want about our supporters, about where we're from, all of that stuff. I genuinely don't care, because if you really knew this place and if you took the time to meet the fans who are salt of the earth, who love this club, who just idolize our football players because of the entertainment, the escapism that football gives us, that supporting this club gives us, the pride that it gives us. Be my guest. You've got to come up here and feel what it's like to know people from the Northeast. The majority of people would say it's a great place with the friendliest people you'll ever meet in the world.
Well, he had a go at Adam Pearson after the cup final and a few other Newcastle fans for getting emotional. I've actually got the snippet of the video, so just have a listen to this.
Oh, such a
no, that's too boring.
Oh yeah, we'll all put our shirts on. Grow up.
Yeah, I know.
That's probably from passive football shirts.
Sitting there in the ground in a shirt, not playing as a professional footballer. Like, it's an epidemic up there. They all wear kits, don't they? It's an epidemic. They all love to go in fancy dress. Why do they do that? Like,
well, you want him in a suit? You want him in a suit?
50-year-old, big fat boys in an extra large kit. It's mental. Why are they all doing that? Can't they just get dressed like adults?
Well, you want him in a suit?
Who?
What do you want him to wear?
I cannot fucking stand them. I cannot. The way they sit there and smirk and snigger. I absolutely despise the fuckers. I mean, Alex...
Can I just talk about something? It's just one second.
Yeah, of course you can, Billy, yeah.
European Champions League final 2012, I believe, Chelsea versus Bayern Munich. The captain, John Terry, was suspended.
And wore full kit.
I wore full kit. Not just only full kit, shin pads and everything, so he could lift the cup up afterwards.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Those in glass houses can't throw stones. Yeah. Absolutely not.
Alex, I know you're not from the area yourself, but a Newcastle fan, I mean, just knobheads.
I mean, it's a little bit embarrassing. It's just antagonistic. It's childish. It's for clicks, and it kind of is his opinion. He's been like this for a few years. The boy 5 years ago was a bit of a laughing stock for being a bit stupid, and that was his angle. That was why people thought it was funny, because he came out with really poor takes, because he misquoted things, didn't give the right data. He was really poor, really poor, and he was a bit of a comedian. People were laughing at him, not with him. And then he tried so hard to pull his socks up and be more articulate, which he appears to have been in recent years. Puts a lot of big words out of his dictionary in the sentences to make him sound a bit smarter than he actually is. And it doesn't really fool anyone. He just turns vicious now instead. And it's really vicious. And because he's got the base and the reach to be able to ridicule people, he does, and he's done it for a while. And it is very strange. I can't remember what's his name, Boovy, the Man City fan. You could see that he didn't agree with the other two. He was trying to play devil's advocate because he clearly didn't agree with them. But it's a Man United fan and a Chelsea fan in Adam McKayla and Rory Jennings. And does it matter?
But they also forget. They also really do forget, guys. They wouldn't be where they are if it wasn't for the True Geordie.
Oh, absolutely. They've completely thrown True Geordie under the bus there. It's a bit
and they wouldn't be where they are if it wasn't for Pride.
Anyway, but they've clearly they've run away from him to after silly comments that he made, and it is what it is. There's no need to be really personal like that, but.
His wife's a Geordie as well, Rory Jennings. That's what I don't understand. She's from up here. And he says that about the fan. I think it's absolutely disgraceful. Claire says Boovy knows. Sorry, Sam, go on.
Alex is right. It's clickbait. It's juvenile,
clickbait, yeah.
And it just shows his ignorance. It shows ignorance. It's really actually quite laughable. If the shoe was on the other foot, he'd be singing his players' praises for being up in the stands representing the club. We're proud to wear it. Our players are proud to wear it, even when they're not playing.
I thought Joe Linton looked really smart in his wife as well. I thought they looked.
Well, this is what Boovy said. He was like, "Well, what do you want him to wear? A suit? Like, what do you want him to wear?" This is coming from the guy who's just wandered into a Next, put on a polo shirt and got some sunglasses on his collar, every other man of 30 years old. All right, you just go. All right, Joe Linton is just going to go dressed like that. Then Joe Linton's got more money than that boy ever will, and still turns up and shows that he gets the club and the fan base and wants to show a bit of passion. It's not just a job. This is one of the things in football that if you play for the right club, it can be a bit more than a job. Something that he wouldn't know about as a Chelsea fan.
Well, Boovy said some terrible things about Geordie women in the past, so he certainly doesn't get a free pass either. But I just think it's despicable when you cross the line like that. You start insulting people. So I thought, well, people know me by now. I'm not going to sit here and just let Newcastle United, let the fans be abused like that in a way. I'm going to hit back. I'm going to say what I think. And
let's be honest, he wouldn't have said that. Had Chelsea have been winning 1-0 and us had a player sent off, I don't think that would have come out of his mouth.
Of course he wouldn't.
Well, it was in the first 10 minutes, Alex. They were already 1-0 down, but it was before the sending off.
He's lacking emotional maturity and competence and emotional intelligence because he couldn't handle himself in the moment, and he said things that are definitely going to rattle people. I mean, I do think maybe people are a little bit too protected in this day and age. You get attacked for saying anything remotely controversial. But, you know, he can say that if he wants to say it, but he's got to appreciate the backlash. If you say things like that, you've got to be prepared to upset people.
Calling people 50-year-old fat men in fancy dress when it's a replica shirt. What are you supposed to do?
Like when we talk about London, we talk about potentially poshness, but not everybody in London's posh. We do give it a bit of banter, but that was kind of nasty laughing there. It was really vicious. It's just not necessary. You lost, mate. Get over it.
The fact of the matter is, he was expecting to come to James Park yesterday and get the win because he's still living in a bygone age where it's certainly going to do that. They haven't
won at St James's Park for about 4 years now. Them days don't happen
anymore. Them days are well gone, and he needs to go on against it today. Today's modal because it's gone now.
So many comments though on the video saying I'm sitting here in my Newcastle kit and all of this, just shoving it back down.
Well, Paul, I've just brought it up to check myself. The first few comments are all from Chelsea fans apologising for him, saying he doesn't speak for us, and they've all got hundreds of likes on them.
Good for them.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Neil Laughlin is a new member of the channel. Thank you, Neil. Kieran sent in a super chat saying, great work on the new intro. I love it. Thank you very much. Steve Mallam, a member for 33 months now on the channel. Great to see you, Billy. Hope you're feeling better, mate. He does look really well, does what, Billy? I have to say, he's actually the same colour as us now, which is I mean, that's a start. Darren Cox, a member for 4 months as well, said it's called being a fan of your club. When else should you wear one if not to a match? I love Big Joe and Bruno for their love of the club and the city. Yeah, Arteta's been making some comments as well. He said that after the Liverpool game, he's proud of Arsenal because they haven't lost to the Big Six this season, which I'm astounded of, because 2 of that Big Six are just above the relegation zone. There is no Big Six anymore. The cartel's been sliced to pieces. Also, injury news. Eddie confirmed that Botman was icing his knee at halftime yesterday. But it was also a tactical change with that knee problem in mind when he brought Miley on. We'll come on to that, obviously. Yeah, Joe Linton was in a knee brace at the game as well. So I really can't see Big Joe being back. I don't see the point of rushing him back either. He's not going to play against Arsenal, and you know, we'll trash the Scouse Mackhams anyway. So there you go. But let's talk about the game, because changes were made, Alex, and we went with 5 at the back as predicted in the preview. And boy, oh boy, did it work. What a first half that was.
Yeah, I mean, I'd just like to say, for all the success and attention that previous channels we've just been discussing get, the preview on this channel, and we will toot horns when it's appropriate, we went through the back 5, we went through the personnel the changes that could be implemented. The only thing we didn't really get was the Trippier coming out through injury. We weren't to know, because we're not in the know. We just try and make educated guesses as best as we can.
Yeah.
And we got it spot on with the game plan in terms of a back 5, still play aggressive because we're at home, and most of the tactical shift was spot on. Even so much so that the pundits who were watching the game watched us warm up in a 4-4-2, or not even a 4-4-2, a back 4. They watched the back 4 practicing and warming up, and completely threw them. They didn't realise we were going to go to a back 5, and we all knew we were going to do that 100% by the personnel. Botman wasn't going to go where they thought he was going to get. Not a chance in hell. I think people just need to understand that sometimes the fans, despite the fact that we don't play football and we're not professionals, we don't have coaching badges, we watch the team week in, week out. We study this, we care, and we're not always wrong. We do this every single week, as do you guys who watch us every single week. And it makes the TV people and the professionals look a little bit embarrassing sometimes. So hats off to everybody involved who helps with the previews.
Atticus said there's more evidence that Eddie watches the Toon review. He obviously watched your analysis, Alex. Billy, it was, I mean, you did the commentary with me. We played some fantastic stuff in that first half. But Jacob Murphy and Harvey Barnes stood out for me in the first half. The way that Harvey was able to come inside a lot more, get the ball in the middle of the park. He was able to turn. He was able to run at the Chelsea back line. But Jacob Murphy at right wing back, I mean, standout performance in that first half.
Yeah, it's like he's got a set of golf clubs in his right leg, doesn't it? He chooses the right pass for different distances with the right different kind of passes, whether it's along the ground, in the air, little dinky balls. Did it all yesterday. Got his usual assist. He's having a phenomenal season. Dare I say it, someone on that right side that can cover 2 bases, the right wing back one and the right wing, should really be looking at international honours. Should really.
Yeah, you said that yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam, Chelsea, it's fair to say were a little robust in their challenges yesterday. I thought they were absolutely filthy. How Caicedo didn't get through that game without a yellow card, I still don't understand, because he made 3 disgusting fouls within the first 10 minutes that didn't go penalised. And that kind of just swung me, because then later on in the game he booked Share, didn't he, for his first off tackle. Just bizarre refereeing. But Chelsea, I don't know what they were trying to achieve the sending off especially as well was just disgusting.
Yeah, and I think for me it was the emotion of the game. both teams really wanted it. We executed our drive with tactics and quality. They tried to execute with strength and muscle. And we came out with the 3 points. We outplayed them. We were great physically, on the ball, off the ball, positionally. I think we were excellent. The runs that we were going on, that was the first half in particular was the type of team that I think we could all be proud of. We were also up for it. The crowd was absolutely outstanding, and I think that the club played a blinder, offering a free drink to get the fans in there early to get the atmosphere going as well.
Leeds FC says, do you think Toon players under Eddie have a togetherness? As I think you can tell on the pitch, they play for each other. Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. They are the dressing room seems to be an incredible place to be. They may not all be best mates. Obviously, you're not going to have best 22 or 25 squad members all best mates in one dressing room. But it's the fact that the togetherness is there, the belief is there, and they want to play for Eddie Howe. And you can see that on the pitch. Half time came, Alex, and I mean, it's one of those things with Newcastle and half-time whistles, isn't it? I mean, I don't know what was said in the dressing room. We didn't exactly come out the same side, but listening to Eddie after the game, he said it was a very tactical second half between both teams. So I get the feeling, and Bruno's also come out and said there was a little bit of nerves there as well because of what's at stake, which is it's understandable.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that we'd only gone in 1-0 up because we absolutely destroyed them in the first half. Before they had the sending off as well, we were obviously 1-0 up anyway before the sending off. We had 12 shots, 5 on target just in the first half, 1.4 AXG. We really should have had 2 goals in that first half at a minimum. We had so many good opportunities that we just couldn't quite knit together for that final end product. And I think Chelsea were extremely fortunate to still be kind of in the game to a degree. But second half, we got it a little bit wrong. Maresca made a lot of changes. Chelsea played very positively, very aggressive. I think the lads were nervous. Eddie Howe said as much. Was it Eddie Howe? I think it might have been Byrne who said that, potentially. I think it might have been Dan Byrne who said that they were playing a little bit nervy, more so than they needed to be. They were a man up. They're a good team. They showed it in the first half. I think it's just we need to start believing in ourselves now. You know, we've won a cup. We've been accumulating points in the top. What are we, like fourth, fifth most points accumulation since Eddie Howe's taken over? We're in that top bracket. So they've done the business. Everybody on that pitch has been doing the business for the last few years, and they need to have a bit more belief in themselves sometimes, even if Chelsea were down to 10 men. But yeah, they did play nervy in that second half. Sometimes it seemed like they had, considering they were man down, they had acres of space in some situations, and it was a little bit concerning. I don't think Eddie Howe's going to be too pleased with that. And I said yesterday, I think this is going to be a really good learning experience. I think they'll use that second half to analyse how not to play against 10 men next time. Because Maresca did a good job in the second half, and we were, I think, fairly fortunate. We managed to keep the ship floating forwards, train on tracks, all the different sayings, because it was
all the cliches,
all the cliches. It was a bit nervy sometimes.
Billy, we found the substitution a little puzzling. Obviously, with Botman going off, a lot of people were saying it was for a possible concussion protocol because he got the kick in the elbow in the face, off Jackson, didn't he? But it was his knee. But Miley coming on kind of threw us because it meant Murphy going back to right back. And if anything about Jacob Murphy, it's fair enough playing him as a right winger or a wing back, but a proper full back he isn't.
Well, the fact of the matter, we had 3 centre halves marking no centre forward because the centre forward had been sent off. So it was right to make the change, but just different personnel. To put Jacob Murphy back where he was as a right back, an offensive right back, just gave Cucurella the whole of that left-hand side to play in. He was very dangerous second half. I felt if he'd have brought Kraft on instead of Miley, and then maybe brought Murphy off later on, and gone with the 4-3-3, if you like, then it would have been okay. But the fact he left Murphy a bit under the bus, I thought, bringing Miley on. It took Miley 15 minutes to get into the game also. But it was a right change. He had to make it because there are 3 men marking nobody. So he had to make the midfield stronger. I think you made the wrong personnel change.
Well, I think it was after Cucurella's chance, wasn't it? Brilliant save by Nick Pope. I think that Eddie sort of, I've got to get it right back on the field here. Jacobs, well, his presence in the position wasn't there because he sort of floated towards the centre backs, and Cucurella was at the back post completely unmarked. By the way, I've just seen a fantastic comment from Sophie that Eddie Howe can become Arteta's quad father next week. I think that's a superb quote. I am your quad father, you twat. Mike says Pope pulled off some good saves. Yeah, he did. And when needed, Sam, didn't he? I mean, I thought Nick Pope was excellent yesterday.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, I think it was the drop save for Cucurella's shot that he had was like reaction time was really, really fantastic. He also got like the tip of his fingers to the Enzo shot as well. Really, really great. I think he did very little wrong that because they didn't get a lot of opportunity to.
Toon Assassin says Eddie did do some of the spot fixing though. He adapted well in that game to combat Chelsea. Listen, Chelsea. People forget, I think, that Chelsea also had to win the game. It was massive for them as well. So despite them only having 10 men, they had to come at us in the second half. And I'm sure that's what Eddie would have said to them in the dressing room at half-time, that we have to be aware of that. Because sometimes against 10 men, Alex, it can be difficult, can't it? We've seen managers admit in the past that when you're playing against 10 men, sometimes, especially when they've got a lot to play for as well, it can be difficult. Well, obviously not according to your, but other managers have said that in the past.
Yeah, but I think it's excuses. I think you should prepare for it. A well prepared manager should know how to play against 10 men. Maybe the players not as much. It's tricky because it depends on who gets sent off, what position they were in, how they then adjust, what substitutions are made. There's a lot of shifting goes on for the team who's had the red card, and then it's how do you adjust, because we had quite a unique setup that we had to then adjust as well, and he made the Miley sub for Botman. But that's what Eddie Howe gets paid the money for, is to make sure the adjustments are made, the messages are passed on to the team. Bruno knows what he's doing, the keeper knows what he's doing with instructions, the back four know what they're doing. You need to account for this. There have been plenty of games under Eddie Howe's tenure where the opposition have gone down to 10 men with horrible challenges and tackles. You need to make sure you're prepped for it. And the players need to know as well. They need to, because there'll be things they can do in training to engineer interesting passing movements to try and exploit that extra space. And defensively, you need to understand what they're doing, which is what Eddie Howe was tweaking. I just don't feel like the players reacted well enough to the changes and to what was necessary, because it wasn't a great second half at all.
I just wonder if a bit of tiredness crept in, because we went,
We did very much throw the kitchen sink in the first half to try and kill the game, and we couldn't quite do it.
Yeah. Now, Eddie Howe has said, Billy, that Miley was very pleased with when he came on. I agree with you. I think he took 10 or so minutes to get into the game, but then. I don't care if Miley was shite yesterday. For me, he gets a 10 for completely obliterating Caicedo at the end with that. He jumped up with Caicedo, and he was obviously thinking, I'm going to nail you, kid. And it was Caicedo that ended up on the floor. What a challenge that was.
It was an outstanding challenge. How strong is a kid, 18 years of age?
Yeah.
And a very physical, and I'm going to say dirty player in Moises Caicedo, who amazingly stayed on the pitch yesterday without even getting booked. And if he found his match with young Miley, and Miley at the end, after that stood there with a nice little smirk on his face and say, don't try that again, mate. Fantastic.
Absolutely. And Sam, Bruno, when he scored, blown a kiss to Enzo, absolutely superb. I mean, obviously, Argentina against Brazil, it's definitely a kind of nationality contest there, but again, just great to see us come out on top against Chelsea. And there is always niggle against Chelsea, isn't there? Especially at St James's Park. There's always a bit of niggle.
Yeah, and you could see it. You could see it in the match. It was a really heated game from both sides. Like there was a bit of argy-bargy in the box at one time as well. It was just fiery. It was really, really entertaining. Caicedo, as Billy's mentioned as well, it bemuses me how he left without even a yellow after the amount of fouls that were committed. But either way, we took away the 3 points. We can hold our head up, and that sort of celebration at the end. One, holding the flag up, absolutely superb, and then just blowing the kiss as well. Oh, absolute shithousery at its best. And can I also mention about Miley as well? So when they went in for that challenge, Miley didn't actually even fall on his arse. He just sort of like a gazelle landed back down softly and off. It was
absolutely
great.
Superb. And listen, to the second goal, there was a slight deflection, but it just, it finished the game. And for me, I would have loved to, like Alex says, to have finished the game in the first half when we completely obliterated them. But I tell you what, Alex, I really like that formation, though. I really like the 5 at the back.
It's good.
I think we look a better team.
It's the thing is we this is where the line is drawn. Our competence talking about football tactics is it doesn't necessarily mean that's going to work all the time against everybody.
Absolutely.
Against
Yep.
the opposition formations and stuff. I think it's. You can call it sometimes from an uneducated perspective that it might work for this match, and we can be fairly accurate with it, but it's a whole different kettle of fish trying to use it all the time because people then adjust for it and account for it, and it sounds great, but maybe it's just good to have different weapons at our disposal. And a lot of people criticized Eddie Howe sort of 18 months to 2 years ago being very married to certain formations. And I really like the versatility we show. He goes 4-4-2, he goes 4-2-4 in attack. He'll play a back 5 and then suddenly be aggressive. He'll drop Gordon in behind the striker, and he does really creative things. I really like it. He's growing as a manager, and it's what I've always insisted people should try to do. Is if he stops showing any growth and he's very naive, then fine. But he does keep learning from mistakes. Fine, he's got a bit of a loyalty thing going on, but maybe he just doesn't care, and that's his call. But I keep seeing him evolve and evolve and evolve in press conferences, in tactical shifts, in-game shifts, setup, even bit of tomfoolery by warming up with a back 4 when we're starting a back 5. Love it. That's incredible. I like all of this, but I'm not necessarily going to be married to that formation because it's worked.
No, it's opposition dependent, isn't it?
I'm about to say we'll use it again next Sunday.
I
do think it's appropriate for next Sunday as well. I agree, but Arsenal will be better prepared for it this time.
John Cook with a super chat says John Brooks should never ref in the Premier League again after that ridiculous performance. He was appalling. And Jens with a super chat saying when Tino landed weirdly, I was thinking the worst. Oh God, that was a horrible land.
By the way, I'm sorry, I've got to take some in here. I cannot believe some of those challenges that came in that are technically not challenges in the current rule set. This is purely based on my opinion, but I hate it. It's something that Harry Kane used to do in the Premier League all the time. I think you should get banned for it. You get banned in rugby for doing it. Is you look at a player and you look at the ball, you wait till they leap and then you shift them and then they can fall on their head. It is outrageous that is not a problem in football. Like Tino landed so awkwardly, he could have snapped everything. People can land on their neck. The fact that you can eye someone up and shift their weight so they fall head down, and that is not considered dangerous, I do not understand how that's a thing. I think what he did to Tino, and somebody did it to someone else as well. I can't remember. It happened another time in that game.
I think someone did it shared, didn't they?
Absolutely shocking. And the referees need to have a huge look at themselves. That is not. You've got to stop play. It's so dangerous. Somebody's going to die from that, and then it's all going to end in tears. It's disgusting. It's got to stop.
Yeah. Couture Criminal says Chelsea second half absolutely schooled Newcastle.
Cool story, bro. You walk away with your 0 points.
Yeah.
And you lost 1-0 in second half.
Did we not school you completely in the first half?
Well, as I say, we beat them 1-0 in the second half, so that's a real schooling, isn't it?
Yeah. What a
I know what school you went to, mate, but it's not a very good one.
Yeah, you schooled us, but couldn't put the ball in the back of the net.
In Bass Street.
Yeah, incredible. Anyway, we're going to move on to player ratings. So do take part in the chat with your player ratings. We'll go through each individual player, of course.
Man, that's poll first, though, surely.
Yes, I forgot all about that at the start. Nobody reminded me. What kind of colleagues are you? Never mind. Anyway, man of the match poll. So we'll start off with ladies first.
Oh, gotta be Tonali. Gotta be.
Okay. Billy.
I'm going to go for Big Dan Burn. It was absolutely phenomenal.
He was indeed. He was the official man of the match yesterday, by the way. Stato.
I'm going to pick Bruno because I love the fact he didn't boil over and he just kept winding Enzo Fernandez up the entire match and then scored. It was like, have some of that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, I'm going to give a shout out to Jacob Murphy because I thought he was superb. Did I just get a thumbs up?
I agree
Alex?
with all four. Finally.
Miracles do happen on the Toon Review, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. So there you go. The poll is up for man of the match for the viewers. Is it Tonali, Burn, Bruno, or Murphy? Get voting, and we will touch on that at the end of the show. Before we do the player ratings, though, if you are enjoying tonight's show, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, guys. Very important to the channel that we keep those likes coming in. And, of course, if you're new and you like what you see, please do what over 600 people have done in the last 12 hours. Please do subscribe to the channel. Welcome to all our new subscribers. Absolutely incredible. Come and be part of this very, very vastly growing, quickly growing community here on the Toon Review. But don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live show. You can become a member by hitting the join button just underneath us. Prizes, giveaways on a regular basis for our members. And, of course, super chats. It's the $ at the bottom of the live comments, which will guarantee your comment to be read out on the show. Thank you to our channel sponsor, Mamaroo Records, based in Whitley Bay, for all your music needs, for your vinyl CDs, your merchandise, sport merch, gift cards. If you can't get into the shop, check them out online. That's pinned near the top of the description of the show. Please try and support your local stores. Steve's up against some internet giants, so try and support your local stores. And, of course, you can check out our website, thetoonreview.com. That is the place to go for all your merchandise, as Alex will quickly demonstrate the T-shirt for you. There you go. We do all sorts on the website. There is some fantastic stuff on there. Have a look. There's drop-down menus across the top to go and have a good rummage through and buy yourself something to support your favorite YouTube channel. There it is in the flesh. And there's some great stuff on there. There's hoodies, jumpers, slippers, sliders,
Drinkware.
Drinkware, yes. Headwear. There's all sorts on there. So get yourself on. And as I say, buy yourself a nice little gift and support the channel at the same time. Right, let's move into the player ratings.
Paul, before we do that, can I?
Yes.
I've got a little thing to potentially share. I mean,
Okay.
First off, I think Sam maybe has got something to say as well about her zip lining on Friday.
Yes. Oh, I forgot about that. Yes.
Oh, good man, Stato. Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you to everybody who donated to the charity I'm raising money for, the Newcastle United Foundation. I am £59 away from reaching my £300 target. And for those of you who don't know what I'm doing to raise money for charity, I am doing a zip line across St. James's Park. I am absolutely terrified and excited at the same time. So I'm going to pop the link in the chat, folks. If you can donate a punt, please do so. It's to help a really, really fantastic cause. And thank you, Alex, for...
I did that once, Sam, the zip line across St. James's Park. I jumped off the roof and I walked the road across the pitch. I was like, heavy.
Was there a Billy-shaped hole in the corner of the pitch where you landed, Billy, like the Wimbledon pitch?
Wimbledon, yeah.
Is that why now it's off balance?
Yes.
There's a slight slope on the... Hey, I tell you what, you've opened a can of worms there, Billy. Anyway, Alex.
Just for everybody's entertainment and pleasurable reading and viewing, here are some lovely statistics that I know some people don't like, but even the people that don't like statistics will probably like this one. We've scored, 68 goals, we're the 10th highest scoring team in the top 5 European leagues.
Wow.
That's quite cool.
Wow.
That's impressive. I thought it was worth sharing today.
I mean, when you put Newcastle United now alongside these sort of clubs in Europe is fantastic, isn't it?
Not bad, is it?
Just for all sorts of different stats. I mean, it is absolutely incredible. It really is.
Ahead of City, Arsenal, you got Monaco, Lyon, Brentford are in there, above Tottenham, Chelsea.
Spurs are high in the fourth.
They've scored a lot of goals considering they're so bad. Atletico, you got Lazio, Milan down there, Napoli, Villa. It's crazy. Juventus all the way down there, and we're in top 10. And in addition to that, our points per game, we're in 15th, which again, out of the entire
top,
and that is points per game. So that does take into account that obviously the Bundesliga and stuff has fewer games. So this doesn't matter. Yeah. We're 15th in all of Europe, which
that's awfully
again
impressive.
is a really impressive. It's a crazy table. That's why I thought I had to at least share it with people just to show just how impressive this season has been for us.
It's bloody beautiful. Right, player ratings. Let us know in the chat if you agree with us. We'll start off with Nick Pope, Sam.
I am going to go for, do you know what, a 9.5. I think 2 really important saves that he made. As we said earlier, the sort of reaction time for the drop save for the Cucurella, and then just getting the fingertips to the last one for Enzo, I think it was. Really good reactions.
Yeah. Billy?
I'm going to give him 10. I think a lot of criticism was thrown Nick Pope's way pre-cup final. And since then, he's been absolutely phenomenal for me. 1 or 2 mistakes, but not many. Got a penalty here and there. But honestly, commands his box fantastically. He's started throwing the ball more than kicking it. That left shoulder doesn't seem to be a problem to him anymore because he's diving down that side and making good saves. Yeah, I'll give him a 10.
I've gone for a 9. Very much the same reasons as used to. I think he was excellent yesterday. Really liked him coming for crosses as well. And very, very safe hands at the minute. And 2 very good saves in that second half. Alex?
Yeah, I thought he was really important. I don't think we'd have won that game without Nick Pope, to be honest, because they did make there were a few dangerous shots, and there was a lot that he managed to claim. Like high claims were really impressive as well. Very commanding of his box and his area. Sweeping was good. Didn't really notice too much wrong in the way of short passes or even long balls. There wasn't really anything to pick at with his game. It was really good. I'll go with a 9. I thought it was a really solid performance from him. It was almost exemplary.
Okay. Tino Livramento out on that left wing back, Sam.
Do you know what? I thought he played really well. I thought that he has really come into it towards the end of the season. I am going to give him probably. Do you know what? I'll give him an 8.
8. Billy?
A really good battle with him and Neto at times. Yeah, got lots of pace. He still looks really great on that left-hand side. Gets forward as well. I'll give him an 8.5.
Alex?
I'm going to go higher. I'm going to go for 9. I thought he was marauding. Like, I don't care if Caicedo had a good game. He should have been booked. And I think Livramento popped up in their box so many times. He was a constant nuisance and they couldn't handle him. And the fact that a few of the lads, including Tino himself, didn't have their shooting boots on, I think did Chelsea a bit of a solid. He was just a nightmare. He is a nightmare to deal with. I don't know why he's so good on the left. Eddie Howe has said as much that he needs to try and replicate what he does on the left on the right. I think everyone's a bit confused as to why he's so much better on the left, but he's a freak of nature at the moment. He's so rapid. His stamina is outrageous. And I'm really liking his intricate attacking movements as well. He sort of comes inside, gets to the byline, good footwork. I think there's been a couple of occasions where he can probably just shoot. I think he's trying to engineer the opportunity. But he gets in really good areas.
Half, yeah.
He's great to watch. As soon as Tino is on one of those runs, you know we're going to get an opportunity. You just know it because he's so dangerous. I'm going to go with a 9. I thought he was really good.
I've gone 8.5 as well. But to be honest, he should have hit that in the
3
first
key
half.
passes as well.
Yeah, he made a brilliant opportunity for himself, and just that little bit of confidence just to hit it. But that'll come. So 8.5 for me. We've got a super chat from Peter Garthwaite. Where do these sports websites get their stories? Apparently, we've, according to Football 365, have opened talks with Xavi to take over from Eddie Howe. I saw that. I closed it straight away.
What?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolute bollocks. Right, let's move on to Jacubio Murfinho, Sam.
Was that your continental twist on Jacob Murphy?
Well, you know.
I'm so confused now. Oh, it's because he's a wing back. Okay.
Yes, Alex.
My brain stopped working then when you said Murphy. Next.
I've gone for I'm about to downgrade it here. No, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going for 9.5.
Okay.
I think I was a little bit nervy after watching him in the last match, thinking, "Oh, that's it. He's back to his usual self, his old self, I should say."
Of a lot of people.
Yeah, and shame on me for it. He was, he had a bad game. Anybody can happen to that, and he was fantastic. He got the assist. That little dink over the defense just to get the ball to Bruno was absolutely wonderful. I think the runs that he was making as well. I think to Billy's point, earlier in the match, earlier in the show rather, where he was obviously moved to a different position, faded us a little bit, and we sort of had to fight a little bit harder for that. But yeah, I think he had a great game.
Billy?
I'll give him a 9. Yeah, the assist was fantastic. That pass was just the vision of it. The flexibility that he's developed over the past 2 or 3 seasons is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll be amazed if this lad doesn't play international football this summer.
Yeah. Alex?
I think I'm going to give him... I'm actually going to give a 10. Purely for the tactical flexibility of somebody being able to play a right wing back, right back when he's... and get an assist and be okay. Really, really good as a wing back, not as good as a right back. But for somebody to go and play those 3 positions, for somebody that for several seasons people were saying wasn't good enough, and there was a long period of time where people preferred Miggy over him. And he's 30 years old, and Eddie Howe mentioned him in his interview, like just the best player. The fact that he's learned all of this himself with some help with the
he's
team.
Having an awesome time right now. Is
to get an assist and to play right wing back, right back. And now for people who don't like him, it's not even your opinion anymore. It's a fact that he's one of the best assisters we've had at the club.
You say that, Alex. He's in very good company. He's only third behind Solano and Andy Cole. So if you don't rate him, it doesn't matter. Your opinion's wrong because he's in that list. You can't really be right, I'm afraid. He's done it himself. He's written himself into the history of the club. if he gets 3 more assists in the last 2 games, he's up there with Nobby.
Yeah.
And look how we feel about Nobby Solano. Yeah.
I mean, Andy Cole's assists were different kind of assists than the one Jacob Murphy and Alberto Solano were giving. I think they're very, very similar as players. It's unfortunate for Jacob that in the Premier League team this season, he's up against Salah in that position.
100%.
Yeah, he's third for goal contributions though this season, behind Isak and Salah and Isak. Third, that's unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's why I'm giving him a 10. The fact he's got an assist. Let's not forget, Billy, that some of those assists in the league this season included like back heels inside.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Just outrageous.
Yeah, the improvement's been phenomenal. Really has.
Yeah. I've gone for a 9. I thought he was superb. And the one thing that you remember Billy, when we commentated on it, was that little sort of turn from the right back position and that little flick through to Bruno.
Oh, yes.
And then Bruno straight to Barnes. Barnes turns. We're on the attack. It was absolutely superb stuff. Okay, Fabian Schär, Sam.
Much improved. I'm giving him an 8.5. Yeah, he had hunger. I thought you had hunger about him, really going in for interceptions, no fear like we used to see of the sort of days of yore with Shaw. I've probably been a criticizer of Shaw this season since the return from international duty. I didn't think that he looked the same. Starting to get there now, 8.5.
Okay, Bill?
Yeah, I agree with that, 100%. Whatever Sam said there was bang on. A couple of straight passes, I remember, but really solid in the main.
Alex?
I don't think he was involved like that much at all. Not involved in many duels. Did okay in the ones he was involved in. Passing wasn't great. dealt with everything he was meant to deal with. Even I'm going to go for a 7. I don't think there was a problem with his game at all. I thought he was good. I don't think it's worthy of like high 8s and stuff. I think it was solid, but I think just solid. It was a good
not improved. Not a cheeky little half point for an improvement on the rest of the season.
No, I think it was solid. He was concentrating for the whole game in the right position. I thought the foul was a little bit weird. It was definitely a foul, Fabian. He wasn't very happy about that. He absolutely clattered him. Yeah, it was a good performance. I'll go with a 7.
By the way, it looks like Abs has changed to target somebody else during the player ratings now. There you go. Give over Stato.
I think that Botman and Byrne had a lot more to deal with. It's not that they just didn't go on Fabian Schär's side as much. I don't know what they probably should have done because he falls asleep and doesn't win as many duels as the other two. So I don't know. They went the wrong way, maybe.
Dan Byrne, Sam?
Oh, absolutely phenomenal. 9.5. 9.5 for me. I thought the way that he called out for I mean, he was great all game, but the way that he called out for that ball, he knew that he wasn't marked. There was nowhere anywhere near him. The space that he managed to find. I mean, how you didn't notice him screaming for the ball, Chelsea, I have got no idea how you missed him. I mean, the pass from Tonali was just executed wonderfully, fell for him. And then before we know it, we've got the second goal. Absolutely brilliant.
He was good. He was. I don't know whether you noticed just before Bruno sort of cut inside to smash it in. Byrne was. He'd gone to make a run in the channel. You remember his goal in the Carabao Cup 2 years ago? It was a similar run to that. He was dying for Bruno just to slide him through, but obviously Bruno knows better and finished it well. Billy,
I'm gonna give him a 10. I thought he was phenomenal. Yeah. Leadership from the front. He's a much better footballer than people give him credit for. The little flicking pass for Bruno for the assist was great. Pace that we didn't think he had. Managing to keep up with Jackson over a 60-yard run was phenomenal. Great tackle also to get out for a goal kick on Neto, which he celebrated with great gusto. He's had a fantastic game and he's had a fantastic season. Yeah, 10.
Yeah, 10 for me as well. I thought he was absolutely superb yesterday. Challenging, just winning balls, getting forward, just the whole thing about Dan Byrne's game yesterday was just passion and how much he wanted that. When he made that roar, it was like the Incredible Hulk. It was just fantastic down at the Leazes end. I just think he's like you, Billy. He's had a monstrous season. What a story! What a story Dan Byrne's season has been. And he was just fantastic yesterday.
Can I just quickly say on his pace, though? Did you notice his pace?
Billy mentioned that in commentary that he seems to be faster this season. It's weird.
I don't know what's going on. I said he's Weetabix. It was great.
Hey, once do you realise that giraffes, right? They seem very when you watch a giraffe start to run, they're very sort of laboured but once they get the full pelt, they are bloody fast. So yeah. Anyway,
I've heard he had a circumcision.
He's back. He's back.
That's
bloody hell. Yes. Whatever. Alex.
I do think I'm going to go for a 10 as well.
Yay! Boo Sam.
Yeah. I love the fact that he matched Pedro Neto over like 50, 60 yards. That is incredible. I think he's improved his clinical passing, should I say. Passes that are meant to try and break the opposition lines and play through the press or find an attacker. The last few games have been much better. I think he's clearly been working on a lot, which I don't know why. It's just seemingly it's just clicked in the last few games. There's a lot of technical aspects of his game that have improved of late. His pace as well as his distribution. He got three times as many long balls as Fabian Schär did in this game, Dan Byrne. And the attacking from set pieces seems a bit more refined as well. He looks like a few months ago we were like, but Dan Byrne always gets there, but there's never anything on it. Whereas every game it's like, ooh, that was close. Like he just seems everything's a bit sharper. The attacking from set pieces, the pace, the passing, everything's just a bit more polished. and it's fantastic to have that as an option. The fact that your centre half, who's well into his 30s, is now suddenly, because normally it goes the opposite way, and it's great. I mean, hopefully we can keep him in and around and useful as part of the squad for the next 2 or 3 years. If he keeps this etiquette and work ethic up, hell yeah, he's brilliant.
He's
so
doing his
10 out of 10
badges, yeah. Hello, Carlito. God, I can't wait for Arsenal to get revenge on Newcastle next week. The fact
even if you beat us, you still lost 3 games. Like,
the fact
it's not
that you
be
say
revenge.
it's revenge tells me exactly where you Arsenal fans are compared to us Newcastle fans. Simple, really. We need 3 points to secure Champions League. We may get it at the Emirates. We may get it against Everton. But the fact
I'd rather get it at the Emirates, so then we're in second and they're not, because they will cry.
Can you imagine? Oh,
yeah, beat Everton and we'll finish second. I mean, wow. I mean, Carlito, get your tissues ready.
I'll get mine ready. That's the finish second.
Yeah. Look at that, man. Billy, you've been saving these up, haven't you? You just God help us on Friday is all I can say. Billy and Sam back on TTR Friday. That is a worry. It's a big worry for me as host of this show. I am trembling already. Anyway, let's move on to Botman, Sam.
I'm going to give Botman an 8.5. I thought that he was really great. I thought that he was going for interceptions. I thought he was being quite physical, muscling people off the ball. I think for returning, I think that was a particularly good performance. I don't think we saw the sort of 10-minute lull that he had when he came back on after the first time he had that break for injury last time. I think he came on and felt like he'd been playing all season.
Billy Bob?
Just makes everything look so easy, doesn't he? And he's playing as a Premier League centre half against a top 6 side, and it was so easy for him. And they had to try and injure him to get him off the pitch, which, with the elbow in his face, didn't get him off the pitch. But I mean, I thought it was outstanding. I'm going to give him a 9.5.
9.5. Wow. Okay. I've gone for a 9. I thought he was excellent, similar to what you two have already said. The way he plays the game, the control he has, the calmness about him is absolutely incredible. For his first game back to go against Chelsea, just awesome, man. He's just one hell of a player for our future. Fingers crossed that it's just a blow he took on the knee and it was just more of an impact and nothing more. Alex?
Well, I'm just looking at my bingo card and nobody's mentioned Woodgate in the chat yet, so I've got my stamp ready, but we'll get there. I'll go 8.5 as well. I think he gets bonus points for the fact he can come back from injury and do that. He has no right to be that consistent and impressive. As let's not forget, quite a young player who's a long time out. It's incredible. It's incredible. He's so good in the duel, so intelligent. There you go, bingo. And
here you are, man.
Yeah, I just love Sven Botman. I know we all love Dan Burn, and I think at the moment we're all in a bit of a funny place where we all really love Dan Burn, but we're all like, but Sven is really good. It's like, we're in that horrible phase where they're both really good. It's fine. One's the past, one's the future. That we get the happy bit where we get to see both of them at the same time. So
exactly, before one of the dogs has to be taken outside and shot. Alex,
whoa! Jesus, Sam, where did that come from? No. Billy does the jokes. You don't do the sad bit. That's me.
Bloody hell!
There we go.
Is everything all right at home, Sam?
Jesus Christ!
Oh, it's PCA. Nothing to do with me.
Oh, God. He was a good dog.
Ian, I think you need a word. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we take no responsibility for the shooting of dogs on this channel. Thank you very much. We are a dog-loving channel. Wow. Anyway, swiftly moving on. Kieran McLaughlin is a new member of the channel. Thank you, Kieran. Jilly has also gifted a Toon Review membership, and so far I've gifted 5. So there you go. I don't love Dan Burn. You don't have to love him.
Found the Mackham.
Yeah. Kieran's come in with a super chat. The disrespect from the Chelsea manager to not shake Tyndall's hand at the end of the game is shocking. Listen,
But unsurprising.
He was rattled in his little pink jumper, wasn't he? To be fair, he was absolutely rattled. Right, Bruno, Sam.
Can I just quickly say I adore animals? Everybody should know that. I love my dogs.
Yeah, she does have dogs herself, and she doesn't shoot them.
No.
So there you go.
Yeah. Anyway,
Do you have a taxidermy business, Sam, by any chance?
Right. Anyway, Bruno 9.5. I did notice in the second half, I felt like he fatigued a little bit. But the goal at the end, the celebration was absolutely outstanding. He was making stuff happen further up the pitch, a lot more creative. Tonali unlocks that element in him, just creates more chances for us.
Billy Bob,
Captain's performance, a goal. I thought it was phenomenal again.
Yeah.
Just scheming. I love his scheming. I love the way he does things. Winding up Enzo Fernandez, not Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
But any will do. I want to give him a 10 because he's just a phenomenal player. Phenomenal player.
10 from Len. I've gone 9.5 as well. I thought he was outstanding. Listen, he's had a drop off in form. We all know that, but he's come back in the last couple of games and he's looked rather good. Back to himself. I think he suits that formation really well, to be fair. Alex.
I mean, I'm going to give him a 10 because he took the flag out. I was
worried to get booked for that, Stato. If you got booked for that and sent off, that'd have been terrible, wouldn't it?
I don't think you can get booked for it. Some people have mentioned that, but I don't think that's
it's delaying the game, isn't it?
It's to a degree, but it's the shirt. It's the shirt off. I think that gets the, because it's dangerous to women's health for footballers to show off the 1-packs and stuff. I'm trying to be sarcastic, Billy. It's fine. So you're going for a 10, Alex.
Well, yeah. I mean, for more than just the flag raise, but that's a big part of it. Obviously, the goal, keeping Enzo Fernandez quiet, who was clearly just incensed at everything.
Yeah.
He could have got sent off quite easily. And Bruno didn't boil over, which he does sometimes. And he's the captain, so he's got to be careful. And he played it brilliantly in this game. Arguably could have had another goal with the little lofted pass from Jacob Murphy, the little scoop that he tried. Couldn't quite get it on target. He lashed at it a little bit, but yeah, I'm going to go for a 10 just because he loves the club, and I like that. You don't get footballers like this. It's the kind of person that rubs Rory Jennings up the wrong way, so he gets a 10. They hate that the player's not there for money. They hate it.
I know. Right, Tonali, Sam.
10. Easily a 10 from me. I thought the way that he won the ball back so effortlessly and did that spin on Lavia and then just played it forward. It was just beautiful. And then he just appears at the back post to get the assist from Murphy. Just really well played. I thought it was quite good of Barnes actually to sort of foresee where that was going to go and not get in the way of it or try and make something happen with it as well. That was quick thinking from Barnes, so credit there. But yeah, 10. Absolutely brilliant.
Bruno was desperate to get on the end of that. He absolutely threw himself at it.
But it was great to see them both rushing into the box at the same time, making stuff happen. Excellent.
One thing we were complaining about a couple of weeks ago, that there was nobody taking a gamble. Billy?
I think he needs to start fibbing a little bit because he made out that he was a miss hit with his shot. I didn't see it as a miss hit. I thought it was a fantastically placed little dink. Yeah, and he should have said so. But he doesn't care. He says as it is. To win the ball back in the first place, he kind of made his own goal, really. Yeah, he did. With the help of Bruno and Jacob Murphy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, great performance again. He's just he's an elite player. 10 out of 10, hands down.
Yeah, 10 for me. Absolutely super. I just love watching the guy play. Floats across the field, his passing, his engine, his physicality. We have one hell of a player here. And Billy, we said a couple of weeks ago when you weren't on, we go back to your comment about saying that Bruno is probably the best midfielder you've ever seen. Tonali is going to put that phrase to the test.
Without a doubt. Yeah, I agree.
Alex.
Yeah, I didn't think that we were going to have exactly what you two have just said. After Billy's original comments about Bruno, I didn't think it was going to get challenged quite so quickly. Yeah. It's bananas that we've got arguably two of the best midfielders we've ever had at least in recent memory of the last few decades. At the same time, it's ridiculous. I mean, statistically, he tried 3 crosses. He found a black and white head shirt with all 3 of them. 4 out of 4 accurate long balls. Scored a goal. Couple of key passes. 96% passing accuracy. Tried 47, found 45. Just
mental. Just
sublime. Just so crisp and clean with everything he does. Technical ability, awareness, physicality. It's just outrageous. I just feel like if there's any advert that comes on the telly for a suit, a watch, or a sports car that isn't modelled by Sandro Tonali, they've done the world an injustice, because he embodies everything sublime in the universe, and he should be credited for it, because he's a wonderful man and brings us so much footballing joy.
All right, Alex, get a fucking room, Jesus. I'll take it you've gone with a 10.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Harvey Barnes, Sam.
Harvey Barnes. Do you know what? I'm going to give him a 7. I thought he wasn't in the game as much. I still think he had some opportunities. He was still trying to create some things, had a couple of shots, but he didn't. I think with the other performances that we saw, he just sort of faded a little bit. I don't think he was being a passenger or anything. He was trying to make stuff happen, but there was just too many moments of brilliance on the pitch that day.
Okay. Billy?
I don't think he had the luck of the draw, to be honest. I thought he put himself in the right positions. He manufactured some great chances. Just didn't go his way yesterday. I'll give him an 8.5 because I thought his effort was fantastic. His energy was fantastic on both sides of the pitch. Yeah, so yeah, I enjoyed his performance, but it just wasn't his day. I'll give him an 8.5 for it.
I've gone for an 8. I thought he was okay. I thought the first half he was. Second half it kind of faded out because we just didn't get on the attack as much. So an 8 from me. Alex?
I'm going to go with a 7, but I was okay with it. I think there's been some comments like this today, which I think that's absolute nonsense. It could not be further from the truth. Barnes has had some poor games.
Say how he feels.
I don't think that was poor. Well, there was a few websites that gave him a 5 rating, which I thought was ludicrous, absolutely scandalous. He had 4 shots at goal, got himself into really, really good attacking situations. He just couldn't get his feet set. I don't think you penalise people that far by saying it's their worst game or he's a 5. I thought he was fine. He needs praise for getting into those areas. It's not going to happen every game. If you score every game, you're the world's best. It doesn't happen for everybody. And he scores a hell of a lot. So I'm going to go with the 7. It was fine. He just didn't have his shooting boots on yesterday.
Anthony Gordon, Sam?
I've gone for 7.5 for Anthony Gordon. I thought he's
what? Sorry,
7.5.
Okay.
I thought his pace was absolutely blistering. Really, people didn't know what to do with him, especially in defence as well. Just again, he's struggling to make stuff happen. I don't know whether it's because we've sort of found some really strong partnerships with Isak and Murphy, and with obviously the defence with their midfield playing further up now. But he just doesn't seem to be getting the chances, or was the player he was last season at the minute. But I thought the pace was great because he was confusing the back line, making them draw out of the goal, which was great.
Billy?
Very much similar to Harvey Barnes for me. I thought the effort was fantastic. The pace, as Sam's mentioned, as always, is fantastic. But again, it didn't quite tick for him, did it? There was not a lot of end product for him. His work rate was fantastic. He definitely gets into Chelsea's skin. Every time we play him, because they'd have to kick him within 5 seconds of the game starting.
Yeah.
So I'll give him a 7.5 as well.
7.5. Okay. I've gone for a 7. I just think he's going to obviously. He's still getting back to full fitness, isn't he? You can tell that. I just want to see more in the final third from him. A bit more clinical from Anthony Gordon. We know he's got it in his locker. If he had the finishing at Barnes, my God. I mean, he'd be a world beater. But, I still think he's getting back to fitness. Alex?
Yeah, I think 7's fair. It's about right. Same as Barnes for slightly different reasons. He's playing into himself at the moment. He needs some time to get fully match fit, and not just fitness, but sharpness as well. The right sort of touches, passing, when to sprint, when to do whatever. He's still getting there, but he was an absolute menace, and I think we had a lot of joy because they were maybe really concerned about what Gordon was potentially going to do. It's like you have to overmark him or over concentrate on him. And I know people don't like it when I reference this, but it's a similar thing with what Maxi used to do. Is if you've got somebody that could be dangerous, you have to account for it. Gordon's one of those players where you can't just leave him because he'll run past the entire team. You've got to be really careful. Whereas players like Barnes, you can maybe adjust for. And he's really dangerous. But yeah, he'll be fine. He needs another few games, but the season's going to end.
Yeah.
Next season will be a lot better for him. I've got no doubts.
Right. Alexander Isak, Sam.
6.
Yeah.
I think he's injured. He's just his mobility's not the same.
Something's not right.
Yeah, it's not. He didn't have the pace. He wasn't getting forward quick enough when we managed to get a break. He's just looking a bit sluggish. So I do think he's carrying something. He's definitely not the player that he was. It's an interesting one, but that's the highest I can give him.
Billy?
I said before the game that we couldn't afford any passengers. And while I don't think he was a passenger as such, he wasn't far away from it. Even in defensive situations where the ball was a yard from him, he still wouldn't press it. Attacking situations, he pressed okay. He's definitely injured, no doubt about it. He's got some kind of muscle injury, whether it's hamstring or groin or whatever, but there's something wrong with him. So I'll give him a 6 as well, yeah.
I've given him a 4. I just thought he was anonymous yesterday. And listen, before people jump on me, there's plenty 4s and 5s coming in the chat. This isn't anything against Isak. It's the fact that I've said this for weeks now, that I think he's injured. And we've relied on Alexander Isak so much this season. I just think he's out of gas, as well as carrying an injury. And, you know, it goes a lot to say that, you know, how good he is, that he's still on the pitch because he's better than what we've got to come into his place. Even an injured and an out of gas Alexander Isak can still put the ball in the back of the net. However, he's just nowhere near the player he was a month ago. Nowhere near. And you can clearly see that he's not running at full pace. He's not really getting into the thick of challenges or anything like that. I mean, he's not that type of player anyway. But you know, he's clearly something wrong. But you know, listen, some people saying I'm being too hard. He wasn't in the game at all. How can you score him if he wasn't in the game? I don't think he did anything yesterday. But but there is reasons for that. Alex?
I'm going to go for a 6 because I liked the shots, but I agree with everything else everybody said. He did have 4 shots at goal. Couldn't quite get the connection of the tech. He did. He had 4 shots, 2 improvised volleys as well that he couldn't quite get right.
But that's the thing. I think he gets one of them right, Alex, if he's on song. We've seen him score them.
Well, yeah, but I'm giving him a 6 because he got into the positions to get 4 shots in a Premier League match, which you've got to be good to get that. And it was close. He didn't quite get them right. Nice to see. There would have been some fantastic strikes if he got a clean connection on them. But yeah, the rest of it, I think the pressing was 10, 20% off. Even more so when he was in defensive situations. I think he's got to be careful not to give the ball away deep. His physicality was quite poor in terms, but well, it's Chalobah and Colwell, but still, we're in the Premier League. He's going to need to he's just going to have to deal with that. I can't go any higher than a 6, and the 6 I think is generous for the shots. It's fine, guys. We just need to get him through to the end of the season. There was a few comments in there similarly about Gordon that he's got to start scoring. It's not good enough. No. I think that's nonsense. Unnecessary pressure. Let's get them through to the end of the season. It is what it is. It's been a long year.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if, you know, when the season finishes, that news comes out that Isak's had a small operation on a groin problem. You know, Eddie's hinted at that for weeks now, that he's carrying some sort of groin injury. Nobody can look at Isak at the minute and say he is playing at full pelt, because he isn't. And we bloody well hope it's an injury, not all these bollocks rumours about his head being turned. So, you know, crazy. Right, who came on as substitute, Alex?
Miley first, and then it was staggered. Miley on 55, Emil Kraft on 65, and then Sean and Callum Wilson came on in the 90th minute.
Right, well, we're not going to do Sean and Callum. It's pointless. Right, we'll do both Miley and Kraft, Sam.
Miley, I'm gonna give him a 5.5, and I've only given him a 1.5 extra for the challenge where he like floated back down to earth after going in with the head. I just think he needs more minutes. That lad, he's just not getting the chances. I thought positionally he was actually quite good, getting runs into good spots, but aside from that, he didn't light the world on fire.
Kraft.
From me.
Yeah.
Kraft, Mr. Reliable, did end up getting the yellow, probably 6.
6. Billy Bob.
I thought it took 15 minutes for Lewis Molly to get into the game, into the pace of the game. Notable that Eddie didn't put him on the left-hand side of the 3 midfield, put him on the right-hand side, which he has to play there for me. And I thought as the game went on, he looked stronger and stronger and looked pretty good. So I'm going to give him a 6.5 for Miley. For Kraft, I thought it was a seamless change. Looked defensively stronger. And he still provides attacking runs down that right-hand side as well. I'll give him a 7.
I've gone a 6.5 for Miley as well. By the way, that pass that he put through, for Harvey Barnes was absolutely superb. Barnes took a heavy touch though. And, what can you say about Emil Kraft? He is literally just Mr. Reliable. He comes on, you can rely him in the centre back and right back. He just gets on the pitch and does the job he's been asked to do. And you can't ask any more of that. Alex, Miley and Kraft.
I'm going to go for a 5.5 for Miley. I think the lack of control in that second half, he's got to take some responsibility for that in his rating. I know he's young, but we've got to rate what we saw. I think he gets the 0.5 for just tidy passing and the pass for Barnes.
Yeah.
But the physically not as... It just wasn't enough. We got dominated for about half an hour, and it got concerning. And it wasn't enough. But again, he's really young. It is what it is. It's not a problem. We know he'll be good enough. Eddie Howe has stated as much. He's staying. He's the future of the midfield. So it's fine. Emil Kraft, I think I'm going to give a 7 to, because I thought he came on and he was really productive, safe, speedy, physical, reliable. Not just reliable, but he's got a bit about him as well, which I like. It's not just shoehorn in the utility player. He's got a bit of pizzazz about him when he needs to as well. He can go on a little run. He's pacey than people give him credit for. It's a shame we don't get to see more of him. We've got fantastic fullbacks, but it'd be nice to see a bit more of Emil Kraft. But again, he's not the best player in his position, but he does really well when we need him. So 7.
7. All right, let's move on to the manager, Edward Howe. Sam.
I am going to say, do you know what? Stuff it, a 10. Thought we got it right. And Alex was mentioning this at the beginning of the show. I was Howe out. Yes, I was at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, just when you say that, Sam, we had a little funny bugger on Twitter calling you and Billy plastics.
Fine. I've got plenty of reasons for it. Between the months of August and November, we picked up 16 points out of a possible 36. In that time, we weren't seeing substitutes made at the right time, in-game decisions, not reactive to what we were playing in front of us either. Not picking the right starting 11, and we had Tonali on the bench for so long, who is absolutely phenomenal now. So jog on. I had every right to say that he wasn't fit at the time, and he's learning.
We were down in
like
14th, 15th as well.
Everybody has opinions. A lot of people were the same. But
and I've had my hands up to it. Get over it.
Exactly.
You can change your mind.
At least people have cojones to come out and say it. Yeah, I was wrong at the time, or you weren't wrong at the time. It was your opinion at the time. Yeah. But now
he's
your
changed my mind because he's learned from his mistakes. Absolutely.
And people do this. They just criticise against. I got criticised at the time.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I got criticised for the opposite at the time, for saying that I believed he could learn and improve it, and I got slated by a huge group of people stating that it was time. It was time to change. So the people will do it either way. It's just there's always a few.
I mean, does it really matter? People had opinions at the time. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. If anything, Sam and Billy have said that, now they're well and truly behind Eddie because it's a compliment to Eddie that he's managed to change their minds, and he's changed a lot of fans' minds that he can manage the elite games, the big games, and take us forward. That was the question mark over Eddie earlier on in the season, but he's proved to people, and that's what all Eddie can do. So, yeah, just pathetic comments, man. Pathetic. Billy?
I don't think it was a perfect managerial performance. I like the fact we went to 5 at the back, but once they had no centre forwards, he had to change something because those 3 marking none. Luckily, well, not luckily, but for him, Bodman being injured allowed him to change it. I just felt he brought the wrong person on. I thought he should have brought Kraft on then. He did see his mistake 10 minutes later, but just for that 10 minutes of kind of where we were kind of being overrun, I'll give him a 9.
9. Yeah, I've gone for a 9 as well for the same reason. The substitute, we kind of took it. It was when that substitute happened that the game kind of changed. The flow of the game for me changed after that substitution. But hell, we won 2-0. We beat Arsenal and Everton. We finished second in the Premier freaking League. If this guy's not manager of the year, then I don't know who the hell. Well, we all know it'll go to Arnie Slot because it's Liverpool. But there you go. Alex?
I'm going to go 8.5. I thought it was fantastic first half performance, fantastic preparation from him as a manager.
Yeah.
And obviously tricking them with the back 4 warming up when we went straight to a back 5 was fantastic. Second half, he tried to make adjustments that, there's an argument to be made that the players didn't respond well enough to the adjustments. I don't think the Miley sub worked. At the time, I disagree, Paul. I think we'd lost control of the game before the sub happened. And as we made the sub, I thought, this might give us a bit more of a foothold again. And it didn't. It got worse, if anything. So it was, I wasn't keen on anything really that happened in the second half in terms of tactical changes. We could never, even when we had positive attacks, we still didn't have control of the game at any point. So,
he weakened the back foot, the defence, didn't he, started because taking the centre half off and bringing a midfielder on, fine. Against no centre forwards, you do that. If they brought Kraft on and didn't put Murphy under the bus, so to speak, I think it worked out fine, but he didn't do that, did he?
Yeah, I just don't think it worked. I think Miley needs another full pre-season, play some matches against some clubs in pre-season, and I don't think he was quite ready for that kind of game. Although he's played some really high-profile games previously, I just think we needed a bit more control, and that wasn't offered. So yeah, 8.5. It was largely really, really good, and we just keep beating Chelsea at home. So it's a great result.
Yeah. Right, the viewers' man of the match. Who do we think won it, guys?
Lord knows.
Andrew.
1 in 4 for me. It could be any of them.
First of all, we got a comment, a super chat from Nabs saying, did Rory Jennings see the pure beauty J7 was sitting next to when he was criticising him? Dream on, Jennings, you horrible little see you next Tuesday. Well said, my man. Well said. Well, viewers' man of the match was Sandro Tonali with 47% of the votes.
Wow.
Second was Big Dan Byrne with 39% of the votes. Then came Bruno with 9% and Jacob Murphy with 5%. So Sandro Tonali is the viewers' man of the match. I wonder how many times I've said that.
Going to do it one more time, just to be sure.
Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. That is the match review done and dusted. You've had, an extended Toon review tonight, but we're not on a time scale. But thank you very much for watching. Please do give the show a like if you've enjoyed it. Please do subscribe if you are new, but don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live show. Thank you to Mamaroo Records for sponsoring the channel. Based in Whitley Bay for all your music needs. If you can't get into Whitley Bay, check them out online. That's pinned near the top of the description. Go and support Steve. He's a great guy, great shop. Get your music from Steve. And of course, check the website out, thetoonreview.com, for all your merchandise needs. Go and buy yourself something nice or a family member or something as a gift. And it does support the channel as well. So thank you very much to everybody that has ordered on there. Thank you for your super chats, memberships, mods. Thank you. And of course, Alex, Billy, and Sam. Thank you very much. But of course, as usual, the main thanks goes to every single one of you guys viewing. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night, and we'll see you again very soon. In the meantime, take care.
How are the lads and lasses?
Come back and check out some green.
Ah!